Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Peach on a Leash Dog Training, and I'm so excited to have all of you guys here with me today. I'm going to show you how to train your dog to have a really reliable drop. We're going to be using a great protocol that was created by Chirag Patel, and he has a video over on YouTube if you want to check it out after this, but let's go ahead and get started here. So in this first step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have nothing in my dog's mouth. And I know that sounds a little weird, that you're kind of teaching a drop, but there's nothing in your dog's mouth, but trust me, we will get there, I promise. So in this first step, I'm just gonna ask that you have a couple of pieces of food in your hand. Now I have a really high value food, which is chicken, because I'm preparing for my dog to drop something really high value to show you guys later. And I'm just going to hold the food out to my side a little bit. I don't really want my dog to see it coming, and I know he is sitting here watching me, but just so you can kind of get the picture of it, when you do practice this with your dog, I just want to make sure that you're not holding the food out in front of you, presenting it to your dog. Just kind of make it casual. So got to remember, because in those real life scenarios, we don't always have the time to ask our dog to stop and sit and then ask them to drop, especially when it's something dangerous. So again, just remember that when we roll through these. So I'm going to go ahead and show you here with my dog. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say the word drop very clearly, pausing just a second, and then I'm going to spill the chicken out in front of me. And so then I'm going to get down and kind of move around the pieces, so I'll go ahead and show you right here. Donkey. Drop! Oh, yay, look! Kind of pushing around the pieces, and this is just going to get him really used to me being in his space so that when we do go to take the item in the next step, he's going to be really used to it, and it's not going to turn into this game of keep away. So as you guys go to practice this step, just make sure you're saying drop before you toss the food. And I also ask that you guys just think of lots of different scenarios that you can practice this in. So kind of sitting in a chair, standing up, holding a grocery bag and doing the drop and tossing out the food. That way when you go to ask your dog to drop something in real life here in a few weeks after you've done lots of practice, they're going to be able to understand you. So after you've had a lot of practice in step one, I want you to look for that moment where you can say drop, and before you spill out that food, your dog is already looking at the floor, anticipating it falling, because that's the moment that you know you can jump into step two. And in step two here, what I'm gonna ask that you guys do is find a tennis ball or a toy, something that's pretty low value to your dog, and you're going to have that food in hand just like before, not too obvious, and after they pick up the item, you say drop. The moment they drop the item, say yes really clearly, and then spill out the food, moving it around. As you go to take the item, I just want it to be casual. So as you go to take it, you've already pushed around the food, you're not drawing too much attention to it, and you're just putting it behind your back. But then half the time, since it's something that they can have, like a toy, I just want you to give it right back to them. So practice this step for a little while, and as your dog gets better, you can kind of move up the value of the toy and use something that's more exciting to them, like asking them to drop in a game of tug of war, or maybe a squeaky tennis ball. And then you can move it up to something higher, like a crumpled paper towel, because what puppy doesn't love a crumpled paper towel? And so then I just want to make sure that you guys are able to practice it, but then be able to take it away from your dog, and you don't have to give the paper towel back. Just again, like I said, about half the time when you're practicing with a toy, you can give it right back to them. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'm so excited to see everybody's progress. Good. Drop. Yay, good boy. Good job. So now we're going to move on to the ultimate test here for me and my dog Dominic, which will be to see if we can get him to drop a hot dog. There's no plastic on it, it's out of the wrapping. I will clean my floors later, I promise. But I'm just going to see if I can get him to drop it. We started practicing it last night, and so I'm excited to see if we can do it for you guys. Go get it. Drop! Good job, Betty! Good, so again, I gave him like lots of pieces of chicken for that instead of that 3 or 4 from earlier. And again, I'm not in a huge rush to grab the hot dog. I'm still down here moving the food around his face. And so as you guys go to practice this, don't feel rushed to really up, the value of the item that your dog is dropping. It's something that it takes time to work up to. So even if you just get through step 1 today and you end up posting your video for just step 1, that's fantastic. So if you end up going over to step 2 with your dog, go ahead and post the video, and I'm excited to see it all. Thanks, guys.